Team Nepal marked a sour beginning to their SAF championship journey as they suffered a 3-1 defeat against Kuwait. Meanwhile, in cricket, Nepal will be playing against former world champions for the first time tomorrow as they take on West Indies in the ICC World Cup qualifiers. Good evening, I'm Prarambha Dahal. Let's begin with the main stories. Prime Minister Dahal confirms his China visit to prepare for a visit to the USA as well. Claims of detailed talks on border issues with India. Social justice and good governance ignored as political parties and politicians prioritize power. New parties also busy in criticizing old political entities. Billions of annual subsidies provided by the government in agriculture yet to reach actual farmers. Farmers quitting agriculture, arable fields left barren. And Nepal suffer a sour defeat in their opening match of the SAF championship, lose 3-1 against Kuwait. Prime Minister Dahal has said that he will soon visit China and the United States of America. Now, according to Prime Minister Dahal, dates for his China visit have already been confirmed. Speaking with Kantipur Television's weekly program Tough Talk, Premier Dahal said that preparations are underway for his China visit, while plans were in progress for the USA visit as well. Premier Dahal also clarified that detailed discussions had been held with India regarding the border issues. Prime Minister Dahal was in India for a 4-day official visit between May 31 and June 3. In a separate context, Prime Minister Dahal has said that Nepali Congress President Sherpada Dewa had extended his agreement for the formation of the Socialist Front, including 4 parties. He further added that doors were open for CPN-UML to join the entity as well. An international aircraft has landed in Pokhara Regional International Airport for the first time after 6 months of completion of the construction of the airport. The Airbus of Sichuan Air, which took off from Chengdu, city of China at 6:09 a.m. this morning, landed at the Pokhara Regional International Airport after around 3 hours. The first international aircraft to land at the airport was welcomed by Minister for Culture, Tourism and Civil Aviation, Sudan Kirati, and Gandaki Province Chief Minister Surendra Pandey, among others. The airport was constructed at an investment of 22 billion rupees from China. The Chinese aircraft had arrived in Pokhara through the northern aviation route of Nepal. The aircraft had carried 135 passengers on board, including National Assembly Chairperson Kanesras Timalsina, who was in his China visit, alongside Chinese tourists and athletes. The tourists and athletes are to participate in the Nepal-China Friendship Dragon Boat Festival. Now, China has reiterated that the Pokhara International Airport is under its ambitious Belt and Road Initiative (BRI) project. Addressing the program organized after the first commercial international flight landed in the Pokhara Regional International Airport, Chinese ambassador to Nepal, Chen Song, said that the Pokhara International Airport fell under China's ambitious BRI project. Prior to this, during the inauguration of the airport, former Chinese ambassador to Nepal, Wang Xin, had said that Pokhara International Airport had become an outstanding achievement for the BRI project. Meanwhile, the Nepali side has been claiming that no agreement has been signed for any projects under the BRI. Issuing a press release a day before the inauguration of the airport, the Chinese embassy in Kathmandu had claimed that the airport was under BRI. Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal, CAN, in the year 2072 of the Nepali calendar, had taken a loan of 1,378,740,000 yuan from China's Exim Bank through the government to construct the airport. The government had provided 1,037,000,000 yuan loan assistance to the corporation after the bank agreed to provide 355,930,000 yuan without interest, while interest would be charged for 1,281,000,000 yuan. CAN has said that Pokhara and Vairava Regional International Airports could not be linked with China's geopolitical project. The concept of BRI, which was introduced in September 2013, was endorsed by Nepal in the year 2017. Construction works of the Pokhara and Vairava Regional International Airports had begun back in the year 2012. Now, activities of political parties usually revolve around power. Politicians who are never tired of big talks at the House of Representatives and public programs have not been able to prioritize issues of public concern. Both new and old parties are focused on seeking popularity. Such a trend has left issues of public concerns ignored as the parties have been shying away from their responsibilities. With suspicion of senior leaders of mainstream parties themselves involved in protecting those alleged of involvement in the fake Bhutanese refugee scam, public had voiced their concerns. There have been talks about a few other leaders and officials of constitutional bodies not being investigated for their role in the scam because of political pressure. This is just a representative case. There are several other instances where cases have been settled with consensus among political parties. Instead of prioritizing issues of public concern, politicians and parties have been focusing on their vested interests. Irregularities in the education and health sector, problems of farmers and businesses, and delay in government works have remained ignored. Instead of ensuring efficient market monitoring, politicians themselves collude with middle persons. Those found guilty of crimes are being released on the basis of political power as well. Ensuring safe and managed foreign employment has been limited to announcements, while parties have not been able to deliver social justice and good governance. While old parties have not appeared serious towards public concerns, new parties have also been very busy in criticizing the old political entities. Good governance cannot be ensured if the political parties continue to create instability to serve their own interests. Parliamentarians have called for formation of laws to ensure fundamental rights, including employment, food security and accommodation. During the discussions on the appropriation bill, parliamentarians said that absence of laws for fundamental rights, even in 8 years since the promulgation of the Constitution, was unfortunate. Parliamentarians added that failure in amending the Education Act 1971 was creating two different kinds of human resources in the country. Members of the House of Representatives shared their opinions on the budget allocated for the Ministry of Youth and Sports, Education, Science and Technology, Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs, and Agriculture and Livestock Development. Opposition parliamentarians Surya Prasad Dahal, Sumana Shrestha, Prem Sual and Mahesh Bartola, among others, demanded for curbing the budget of these ministries. The parliamentarians also demanded for increasing investment in the sports sector, taking action against those alleged of attacking Assistant Professor Prem Chaloni, pension for farmers, and putting an end to the abuse of subsidies in agriculture. Parliamentarians of ruling party CPN Senator and former Minister for Finance Janardhan Sharma said that there was no need to establish a factory of chemical fertilizers in Nepal. The government has been providing billions of rupees in annual subsidies to increase agricultural production by enhancing attraction in agriculture. Such subsidies are provided for chemical fertilizers, seedlings and equipment. The government has also introduced the policy of subsidized agro loans. However, production is yet to increase as such subsidies are yet to reach the actual farmers, while import of agriculture produces has also increased. The government provides around 59% subsidies in chemical fertilizers. Of the 31.8 billion rupees allocated for subsidies in agriculture in the ongoing fiscal year, 23.88 billion was allocated for chemical fertilizers, while 880 million rupees was separated for insurance. Of the total amount, 16.95 billion rupees has been distributed. In addition to this, the government funds 80% of the agricultural insurance, for which 950 million rupees has been released this fiscal. Despite such amount of expenditure in agriculture subsidies, the trend of farmers quitting agriculture and leaving for foreign employment has not reduced. The government has also been providing subsidized agriculture loans for farmers and has spent 22 billion rupees in subsidy on interest alone. However, while 60% of the population depended on agriculture 5 years ago, only 50% are involved in agriculture now. The government also provides subsidies on machineries, equipment, construction of infrastructures, and agro producers, including sugarcane. But as those with access have been reaping benefits, the actual farmers have not been able to make use of the subsidies. Farmers have shared grievances regarding not being able to receive the subsidies because of procedural complications and documentation requirements. With the actual farmers not being able to access the subsidies, import of agricultural produces has been increasing every year. According to Nepal Rashtra Bank, in the 10 months of the ongoing fiscal year, Nepal imported vegetables worth 14.72 billion rupees, paddy and rice of 50 billion rupees, and cooking oil of 15 billion rupees. While the import of agro producers has been increasing, Nepali farmers have been compelled to throw their produces in absence of market. A competitive robotics tournament has been held which witnessed the participation of students of 10 community schools of Lalitpur Metropolis. The tournament was held under the program which has been in implementation since 2018 with the objective of promoting the use of technology in basic education. The students have said that practical implementations of learnings and from internet and textbooks helped enhance their capabilities. Students from grade 7 to 9 are participating at the tournament. With the objective of increasing digital awareness, the digital education program has been conducted in 11 community schools of Lalitpur with the support from E-Party Nepal and Japanese non-government organizations KDDI Foundation. It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Before we ask today's question, let us take a look at the result from yesterday's poll. Yesterday we had asked, why have farmers not been able to receive fertilizers despite the government storing fertilizers in its facilities? 17% were for A, foul play of cooperatives, 7% were for B, lack of monitoring, and 76% were for C, commission ploy. And here is our today's question. What should be done to enhance learning capacity of students? Your options are A, training for teachers, B, regular monitoring, and C, adequate infrastructures. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Now, digital wallet eSeva has struck an agreement with Everest Bank. Users of the application now can withdraw cash from ATMs of the bank. At an event held in Lalitpur today, eSeva and Everest Bank signed an agreement for cardless transaction. eSeva users can now withdraw up to 5,000 rupees in cash per day from the bank's ATM. For amount exceeding 5,000, users will need to pay the service charges that are applied on the Visa network. The Gorais of Metropolis has distributed agricultural equipment worth 4 million rupees to 62 farmers of Ward number 19. The Metropolis has said that the equipment has been provided at 50% subsidies to meet the target of mechanizing agriculture sector to increase production. 36 power tillers, 20 mini tillers, 3 paddy harvesting machines, 1 rice thresher and 2 wheat thresher, as well as 23 water pumps and machines for irrigation have been distributed to the farmers. The farmers have become elated after receiving the equipment today. The Gorais sub-metropolis has said that it has distributed various agricultural equipment to 168 farmers within the past 4 years. In our Public Voice segment, we have asked in several provinces what should be done to encourage people towards agriculture sector. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
सरकारले चाहिँ सस्तो मूल्यमा ऋण उपलब्ध गराइदिनुपर्छ हामी किसानहरुलाई
सिंचाइको लागि पानी पनि छैन केही छैन त्यसको लागि सुविधा नि गरिदिनु पर्यो
माटो परीक्षण गर्न जरुरत देखिन्छ
बजारीकरणको व्यवस्थापन गरिदिनु पर्यो
मल बिउहरू सहुलियत दरमा टाइममा दिनुपर्छ
जसले जति उत्पादन गर्यो त्यसको आधारमा अनुदान दिने कार्यक्रमलाई चाहिँ बोलीमा भाषणमा मात्र सीमित नभएर यो एकदमै व्यवहारमा लागू भयो भने
बजारीकरण र व्यवस्थापनको जिम्मा चाहिँ सरकारले लिनु पर्छ
पोखरीहरू निर्माण जस्ता सिंचाइकुलो मर्मतहरू यिनीहरू काम गरिदिनु पर्यो
सरकार लगायत अनेक सङ्घ संस्थाहरूले कृषि बिउ बिजन लगायत मलजल अन्य आधुनिक उपकरणहरू व्यवस्था मिलाइदिएमा
कृषि पेशाको लागि नि सरकारले अनुदानको व्यवस्था गर्ने भएछ नि हुन्थ्यो
पेशा ग्यारेन्टी वा चाहिँ पेन्सन जस्ता सुविधाहरू राज्यबाट त्यस्तो सुविधाहरू उपलब्ध गराउँदा राम्रो हुन्छ
समयमा बिउ दिनु पर्यो
पानीको सिंचाइको लागि धेरै नै व्यवस्था गर्नुपर्छ
उब्जाएका बालीहरू झर्छन् त्यसको लागि बीमा सही तरिकाले गराउनु पर्यो
किसानहरूलाई पेन्सनको व्यवस्था गरिदिनु पर्यो
मल बिउ बेलामा टाइममा पुगाउनु पर्यो
बाँदर बँदेल नियन्त्रण गर्न पर्यो व्यावसायिक तालिम दिन पर्यो
कृषिमा आधुनिकीकरण ल्याउनु पर्छ किसानले गरेको परिश्रमको डाइरेक्ट किसानले बेच्न पनि पाउनु पर्यो
Sports News.
Team Nepal have suffered a 3-1 defeat against Kuwait in their first match of the 14th edition of the SAF Championship. In the match played at the Sri Kantipur Stadium of Bangalore, Kuwait dominated Nepal since the very beginning. Khalid Hazia put Kuwait ahead in the 23rd minute, while Shabaib Al-Khadi doubled their lead in the 41st minute. Mohamed Abdullah then extended Kuwait's lead to 3-0 in the 65th minute as he converted from the spot after Ananta Tamang had handled the ball. Nepal scored a consolation through Anjan Besta 2 minutes later. It was Besta's 12th goal for Nepal. In the other match of Group A, hosts India thrashed Pakistan. Meanwhile, Nepal will now next take on India on Saturday. Now on to cricket. Team Nepal are set to play West Indies in the third match of the ICC World Cup qualifiers tomorrow. It will be the first time Nepal will be playing former world champions. West Indies have won 2 one-day international World Cups, the first being the inaugural edition in 1975 and the following World Cup in 1979 as well. That is all for the moment. Up next is the news in Nepali. Thank you for staying with us. Goodbye for now.